I'm going to demonstrate on how to prepare to do block fusing. Block fusing is different from regular piece fusing, meaning that you don't need to make a special fusible pattern, which you usually make it 1/8 of an inch smaller than your regular pattern. So you will use the exact same pattern as yourself. Now, you want to identify all the pieces that need to be block fused, okay? And then you want to lay it on a piece of dotted paper or your pattern paper according to the grain line. Okay, very important to follow the same grain line as your self pattern. Okay, so you want to lay it in an area as tight as possible so you don't waste too much fabric or fusible. And you want to trace it onto the dotted paper. Remember, keeping the same direction as the grain line. And then you can remove it. And now you can go ahead and draw a outline around the pattern pieces you trace. You can leave more than what I leave. I left about 1/4 inch here, 1/2 inch here. You can leave like 1 inch around just to be safe. Okay, I won't go more than that. That's become wastage. And then this is called your marker. Okay, and so you will need to cut a piece of, in this case, your muslin in the size of this marker. And also going to cut a piece of your fusible, the same identical shape. Okay, so you can do one or two things. You can try putting a piece of muslin on top, and then put a piece of your fusible on top, and then put it down with some weight, and then just cut around it, so you have two identical pieces. After you cut out the fusible and the muslin according to the marker, I would take both of them to ironing board. But before I do that, I want to lay a piece of paper on top of the ironing board. The reason why is when you're doing fusible, you don't really want any fusible glue to get onto your ironing board, because that's almost impossible to get it out. Okay, especially at school, we use muslin type ironing board, and it will just get really messy. So you want to put a piece of paper anytime you do some kind of fusible. That's what you want to do. Now, and the next, you want to put your fabric, cut fabric, that marker, face down with the back side facing up, because you want to put on the fusible on the back side, right? And then you want to take the same, take the fusible that cut out the same marker and lay it on top, right? Now, you see how sometimes this doesn't get all the way. So even though you cut the same, so you want to basically move it so it should match, okay? Now you have it all laid down. I want you to get another piece of paper to put on top. Fusible is not made to be applied with steam. So the best result is a specific type of pressure, and then also using dry heat. All right, so however, because at home iron your heat is never going to be hot enough or heavy enough. I mean, you can hold on to it for as long as you want, but it's not really going to be that hot. So the alternative is to apply heat. The only way you can apply heat without damaging the bonding process is to put a piece of paper on top. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to hold your iron, put on top of the area you want to fuse. You want to hold it. Now you can hit the steam. What that would do is to increase the heat. Steam heat is always higher than dry heat, especially in the home iron or industrial iron. Now, you want to hold it for about 10 seconds, and then you want to move along and do the same, right? And then 10 seconds, I'm going to move faster in 10 seconds so you see the results. Okay, and I'm going to keep going. Let me keep going. Okay, it should take you a lot longer than this at home. Now, after you do all this and really hold it for a long time, and before you peel it off, you can take off the top paper, but before you touch your block fuse piece, you want to let it cool down. The reason why is while it's still hot, it's not completely bonding yet. The bonding process does not finish until it gets cool. So now when it cools down a little bit, now you can remove it. And you always want to check, see if it bonds. Okay, in this case, not the best. You can see I can start peeling it apart, right? So that's not good. So you want to make sure you bring it back, put the paper on top again, and hold it and shoot steam. Well, one reason why it's not bonding because I was doing it really quickly, right? So anyway, continue doing this until the whole thing is fused. Again, let it cool, and then check again. All right? Until this completely bonds together, then you can go ahead and lay, flip it backwards, take your cutting table, put your marker, lay a marker on top of it, and you can just cut along the line on top of it. Okay? So that's how you do block fusing.